Hello. Okay, so let's see if I can explain this without dragging out too much. So, there's two ways to experience 432 hertz and also very close to it. Now, there are apps that can take 440 to 432, but the ones that I've seen do like a 1.818% downturn. So, alright. So you saw the title and you're wondering what the heck I'm talking about. So let me explain now. So you have tracks that were recorded and made on that 432 hertz tuning, and then you have the down tuning of the app and resulting in 432 hertz or something close or something that's usually soothing depending on what your tracks are, right? It depends on how the audio is. Alright, so I'll explain this advantage here. So, pros of actually recording 432 hertz is that it was actually designed that way. But not necessarily everyone who makes them is going to have like a proper test through because you have like different feelings you could have. Like say you're on a goofy ley line that feels weird and you made it on that so you're not really sure. Okay. One of the cons, other than that I guess, would be the amplitude modulation effect, which could even be happening within this recording. So to make that short, that is where you could have 432 hertz tuning instruments or whatever, the tempo or the fluctuation in the amplitude, which can happen through all sorts of different ways, including the ley line you're on, the way you're feeling. Now this is assuming you're doing it like live instruments, or you're singing, right? If you're doing it in a computer and the computer's rendering it, and it's not like possibly I'm not 100% sure how stereo mix works. I'm not sure how many people still use it now. If amplitude dips can get in stereo mix, I'm not sure. But otherwise, just rendering with like a digital, like a virtual instrument, it's probably fine. But one of the cons of doing like a live, like even what I'm doing right now, one of the cons is that the amplitude could be fluctuating in a certain way, and you can have like a weird vibe, right? So even if you're singing 432 hertz, you're playing 432 hertz, like say you're recording from microphone. Well, that's another thing too. Your microphone's like natural resonance frequency could end up in there because then it'll fluctuate the amplitude, and it could be something weird. Okay, so let's get to the cons of downsampling. The results may vary, and sometimes it may feel sucky. So yeah, because not everything's straight up 440. You might have like 444, like love, and then that gets down to 436, and that's like sad, right? Okay, etc. But yeah, it depends what you have. A lot of stuff I listen to works out fine doing downsampling. And now I'm going to get to the pros of this. So the pros of downsampling is even the amplitude modulated weirdness also gets downsampled too. And you could be even more soothed by that type. Listening to downsampled to whatever instead of actual recorded. Listening downsampled in many cases may actually be even more soothing because then at least, everything gets pitched down and turned down accordingly, like speed. Like there's tempo, there's pitch, and then there's speed. There's speed where they both go down equally together, and that's like the natural speed down. So everything, including the AMs, the amplitude modulated stuff too, also goes down. And in a lot of cases, it's actually, for me, it's a lot more soothing. So yeah, there you go. Sometimes Yeah, a lot of cases, downsampling actually works out better for me. And I know too, like, there's also like artifacts if you have like certain compressions that do something funny, right? So those also get downsampled too. But it's really subjective, and you really just gotta look at what you have, honestly. Not everybody's gonna have the same thing, obviously. It's all subjective, and results may vary. Depends on what you have. And of course, natural resonance frequency too, of like what you're listening with. You can get fluctuations in that. Adjusting the volume on the actual sound amp is changing the draw rate, which is another form of amming. So yeah, I mean, it's just like if you change the backlight on your monitor, you change the level on that, you also change the rate on that too. So alright, so I'm gonna get off here. Looks like it went on for over 6 minutes. I'll see you later. Bye. Oh, and one more thing. Yeah, I put my earbuds on. One more thing is another mechanic of real life called overall resonance. So, long story short, two frequencies equals a third that neither of the first two frequencies by themselves can put out. Like, if you also see that thing in cartoons where you got like this one thing and this one thing in the bottom, they're perfectly harmless, and then you mix them together and then boom. So, yeah, there's that. Bye.